Hey, it's Jake Gagne. Thanks for watching MotoAmerica on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. Keep tuning in.
Race earlier this morning as well.
Yeah, the challenge race for $5,000. But here we go. It's Mission King of the Baggers race number 1. We're underway as the lights are off. And the 33 of Kyle Wyman looks like he got a really good launch as they head off into turn number 1. That is so steep up the hill. Is that Hayden Gillum trying to go around the outside?
It is.
Rispoli in third. So the 33 on the Screaming Eagle Harley-Davidson factory road glide leads the way from a pair of privateer Harley-Davidsons.
Bobby Fong just slotted himself into 4th. He got by the other factory Harley-Davidson of Travis Wyman as they went into turn 3. And you can see the front 3 guys are trying to get a little bit of a gap. So the way that Bobby was able to get that win this morning was kind of bully himself up to the front and then ride very defensively. And I think this is what everybody was a little scared of. Kyle Wyman so far this weekend has shown that he's got incredible pace on that factory Harley-Davidson. But you can see right now the work that the Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson team has done to try to keep this factory bike in check is working so far. There were some big changes overnight for those Vance and Hines Harleys, and they've done a nice job of giving their riders a little bit better package to hopefully try to compete with Kyle.
Down the back straightaway they go, a long drag, and you can see that Kyle has a slight advantage on the acceleration getting towards that top gear. They actually get into 6th gear for a little while before they have to downshift and go to this corner. And Bobby Fong trying to go close the gap on the brakes on the inside. Fong can't get it turned as quickly as the Harley-Davidsons in front of him. But those Vance and Hines Mission Harley-Davidsons looking good. Let's welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast team. It's Hannah Lopa to the mix. Hey, Hannah.
I touched base with Tyler O'Hara's crew chief, Al Ludington. He told me the bike's pushing water. They're not quite sure exactly what the issue is. They'll go back to the drawing board tonight, diagnose it. They'll be working hard overall, but he said maybe it's something they just missed during the rebuild. It's just kind of the highs and lows of racing. The team earlier today wrapped up Tyler's 2nd Super Hooligans Championship in a row.
Yeah, so there you go, Jay. He's highly disappointed, of course. He wants to carry that #1 plate one more season. But, you know, this is a season right now where it just feels like these 3 have been head and shoulders above the rest, with Hayden Gillum 3 points ahead of Wyman. So this is exactly where these Vance and Hines Mission Harley-Davidsons want it to be if they have to race against Kyle Wyman, of course, who's a champion from 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for Hayden Gillum, we've seen him ride so many different bikes this year. I really do believe
that Racing Roland Sands Challenger. It's an Indian Challenger. And it looks like Bobby Fong is down, Jason. And no, for Bobby Fong, last corner. And all of that effort for Bobby Fong, he hits the deck and he is out. And that's going to give some breathing room for these top 3 Harley-Davidsons. And it promotes Travis Wyman into 4th. And then Kyle Ohnsorg is your lone Indian in the top 5 now.
Yeah, but you look at this guy, and it's exactly kind of what we might predict happen. Now let's look and see what Bobby did here. Didn't look like he was in there, maybe a little bit tighter, but he was trying to maybe get that bike rolling, but just loses the front, Greg. And you can imagine the pressure it puts on that front tire as you're tipping in, leaning in, especially in this heat. But for Wyman right now, you can see him short shift that bike as he comes up out of turn 9. There's Gillum. Rispoli still doing everything he can, but now Gillum even has almost a second over James, so it's about 0.8 that time through. Fong was on arguably maybe the fastest lap of the race too going in there. He had the fastest first split of the race, his personal best in the 2nd, and it did go white there in the 3rd, but he was definitely on pace to do another 16 that lap by.
On this final lap, Kyle Wyman has it all in his hands on the last run down the long straightaway, as I'm sure now Kyle's having some fun moving that thing around. A lot of experience in a variety of motorcycles in his life, including flat track, but they talk about the weight of these motorcycles and the length of the wheelbase and how fun it is to ride because you can get it sideways. But the thing that you and I keep marveling at is that how good these things turn and the lap times, as Kyle Wyman has a 2:16.429 back on lap number 2, is the fastest lap of this race. So it's going to flip-flop this championship if Kyle can keep it to the checkered flag. So it's going to keep things really interesting for Kyle Wyman. He had a plan coming in here, Jason, and he's executed it to perfection.
Yeah, he really has, and this is going to be a big boost for him and that team to show that they can come back from a little bit of a bad weekend there, and Brainerd show a little resilience and get back to work, and the 33 is going to bring this one home for race win 1 here at COTA.
Tries to get that front wheel in the air, doesn't get that done, but he gets the race win in the books for Kyle Wyman. a 2.1 second victory and maximum points of 25 over his rival Hayden Gillum, who scores 20 points, and Rispoli will come across in third, having banked 16. Travis Wyman in fourth. A good rebound for Travis Wyman, as we've seen him struggling on and off. Back there in fourth place, Onsorg, Jake Lewis, Flinders, Hawk Mazada in eighth, and Frankie Garcia, very popular Frankie Garcia, in ninth spot. He didn't start, as well as Robert Johnson in this race. But Kyle Wyman's not thinking about any of that. He's just thinking about occupying that top spot on the podium.